You probably know that at present day, the main source of diamonds is Africa. However, what you may not realize is that before diamonds were found in Africa around 1860, the world's first source of diamonds was actually India. These diamonds are now referred to as Golconda diamonds, and today I'm going to talk about what exactly makes these stones so special. Golconda diamonds were mainly mined from the 1500s to the 1700s in an area that was then known as the Golconda region in India. It's close to what is now known as Hyderabad, and the main source of trading and processing of these diamonds is now where you find the Golconda Fort. At that time, there were around 20 different mines that operated in the area, and they were all located along a north-south belt along very ancient rocks that stretched about 1,000 miles. Along this stretch, there were about 5 different mining areas, and most of them were actually alluvial sources, which means the stones were found in secondary sources away from where they originally came out of the earth, and a lot of these are usually in riverbeds, similar to how sapphires are mined in Sri Lanka, for example. Now, apart from the fact that Golconda diamonds are no longer found in this area in India, there's also just a very romantic and, of course, historic kind of air and aura to these stones. And the reason is because most experts agree that these diamonds are some of the most beautiful diamonds that have ever been found on Earth. Of course, this is a very strong billing for these stones, and again, I think the whole historic aura and the fact that there's been documentaries and different TV shows made about them, and the fact that you can't find them anymore, this all contributes to this kind of romantic idea. However, there are a few things that also really contribute to the fact, chemically, why these stones are so special. It's important to note that India in general is located in an area in the world that is very advantageous for gemstones. So of course there you have Myanmar and Sri Lanka close by, and geologically with the metamorphic rock close to the Himalayan mountains, these are areas that traditionally form just amazing gemstones. And of course, when we think about Ceylon sapphires and Burmese rubies and even Kashmir sapphires, which are also no longer available, throughout history, these have been some of the most valuable gemstones in the world. The other important thing to know is that Golconda diamonds are known as type 2A diamonds, and chemically this accounts for less than 2% of the diamonds that are ever found on Earth. They get this classification because chemically they contain zero nitrogen, which is very rare, and nitrogen is also the element that gives diamonds their yellowish tint, somewhere of course between D to Z on the GIA color grade scale. So the fact that they have no nitrogen, they tend to have this very bright and just amazing clarity and transparency to them, and they're also more likely to contain boron. And boron is one of the rarest elements on Earth, and when it has a higher concentration in a diamond, it will turn the diamond blue, which again, of course, blue diamonds, some of the rarest diamonds in the world. One of the most famous blue diamonds in the world. One of the most famous diamonds, period, is of course the Hope Diamond, which can now be found in the Smithsonian, and it is a blue diamond that was found in Golconda, so it's an amazing historic stone. And there are lots of famous Golconda diamonds that have been known throughout history, the other very famous stone being the Koh-i-Noor Diamond, which is presently in the British Crown Jewels, and it's an amazing over 105 carat gemstone. Other than seeing Golconda diamonds in museums, you do see them come up to auction from time to time. Of course, they have price tags to match because they're just so incredibly rare and historical. They have amazing provenance. They've had amazing journeys throughout history, different owners, often people who have been very famous. And of course, qualities will vary as with any diamond, but again, you will often see the Golconda diamonds described as just having an amazing transparency. A lot of experts, diamond gemstone experts, will say they have almost a water-like appearance to them. They have amazing luminosity. They have a very unique way of reflecting light, which of course, when it comes to a diamond, is one of the most important and famous traits that they have, and overall just have an amazing kind of purity to them, and again, just this mythological beauty and story and history. Of course, after hundreds of years of mining, the Golconda diamonds eventually ran out. The mines closed, they were no longer finding stones, and as it always kind of seems to happen, it happened around the same time that diamonds were found in Brazil around the mid-1700s. So after that, Brazil definitely took over as the main source of diamonds around the world. This lasted for around 100 years until, of course, as I mentioned, diamonds were eventually found in Africa in 1860, and they remain the major source of diamonds present day. Now, you may be wondering if diamonds have ever been found in India after this point, and yes, because especially Golconda diamonds are associated with these alluvial deposits, where instead of being found where they came out of the earth, they've kind of scattered and been found in these secondary locations. So there have been diamonds that are associated with those Golconda-like traits been found, but very few in between, and very rare, definitely one-off finds. And there's definitely been TV shows and documentaries, treasure hunter type of scenarios where people are going looking for diamonds there because various things kind of point that there still should be stones found there. But of course, as I've mentioned in some other videos, mining diamonds is very expensive, and it takes a lot of manpower and scientific equipment, for example, to go looking for those kimberlites where diamonds are found. So it's definitely a more complex process than probably the average person realizes. And as an example, it's already been over 10 years where a very extensive study was done by a university in Hyderabad where they did geological surveys, and they did find diamond sources that they thought still existed in the Golconda region specifically. And you had some mining companies that applied to have, production set up in the area, but still to this day, nothing has come to fruition from that. And now it just remains an amazing piece of gemological history that we can still appreciate and amazingly still find and see these stones from thousands of years ago in beautiful exhibits in museums around the world. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any more questions about diamonds, feel free to leave them in the comments below and visit us on our main page at winstongemsandjewellery.com.